Hi, I'm Chris the Pinball Noob, stuck in traffic on my way home again, so it's time for another Bumper2Bumper. I'm stuck behind a truck carrying a bunch of large granite slabs, so it's kind of Final Destination. So if you see a little live link symbol in the corner, you might want to close the video now. But I want to talk about upper flippers and why I suck at them. My local spot recently got a King Kong, so I've been playing that a lot. And it has two upper flippers, one on each side. And upper flippers are something I've always struggled with since I started playing games on location. They come in kind of two flavors. On Godzilla, you have the one on the upper left that's like a full-size flipper. And then on games like Jaws or King Kong, you have the little mini flippers. And I'm terrible at both, but for different reasons, I think. And I'll tell you why. So on those little tiny upper flippers, you have less length, which means the flipper arc is shorter, which means all the angles are crammed into a smaller space and you have to be much more accurate to get the angle you want. And I don't have a game with an upper flipper at home to practice on. That's kind of not true. I have a Genie, which has, it's more of an upper playfield on the left. And there's two smaller flippers up there, but I wouldn't call those upper flippers. It's kind of its own playfield. I'm talking about like on Jurassic Park, you have the flipper on the right side where you're supposed to make the shots across the playfield to the left. I'm terrible at those. I can't make them. On Godzilla, the destruction jackpot, when that ball drops and I hit the flipper button, I'm praying it goes somewhere because I feel like I barely have any control over it. And I know people can get good and dial in those shots. I just haven't learned how to do it yet. So really at some point I want to get a game with a good upper flipper that I can practice on. Something like an Iron Maiden has a really good loop that you can repeat, or James Bond has a good one. But something interesting that maybe it's only Keith Elwin. I've only seen it on Elwin games. But something interesting he does is have these small flippers that you can actually hold and catch the ball on. Most upper flippers, you don't get a chance to catch the ball. It's just kind of, the ball comes at the speed it's traveling and you just have to hit the flipper and hope for the best. But on these Elwin games, on Jaws and King Kong, on the left side one, you can catch the ball and you can line it up for a shot, which I actually do a little better at. On Jaws, you're trying to hit that harpoon shot, which I'm still bad at, but I'm starting to be able to hit it sometimes. On King Kong, I can actually hit the drop targets fairly regularly. I mean, they're like 1 inch away from the flipper, so it's not that hard to knock them down, but I feel like I have some control there. Hitting the upper shots off that mini flipper is a little more difficult, but when it comes to the right side flipper on King Kong, it's the same thing as Godzilla or James Bond. It's just like I'm hitting that shot. I'm hitting like the biplane shot, maybe 25% of the time, probably closer to 10%. There's two shots going off that flipper, and I'm lucky if it hits either of them. It's the same thing with Jurassic Park. Trying to hit those combos where you have to loop it around and then it comes off the flipper and you're trying to hit the like the lookout tower or whatever it is. I cannot hit those shots. So, if you have advice for how to get better at upper flipper shots, let me know, because I'm really struggling with that. There's certain modes in King Kong where I think like the Stegosaurus Bridge mode, you have to repeat that right side shot and hit that sideways ramp multiple times. And I just can't do it. I have enough trouble getting it to the upper flipper, let alone actually hitting something off of it. I really need a game where I can practice doing that kind of upper loop, because I'd really like to get good at it. I've got a friend who can hit like 10 or more loops in a row on Iron Maiden, which is kind of mind-blowing, but it's a lot of fun. So anyway, give me some tips. Give me some of your favorite upper flipper games. I'll try to find some and practice. And traffic's starting to move again, so I'm signing off for now. Bye.